Touchstone Pictures, Scott Turner led a neat and orderly life. Then he inherited Hooch.
No! Stop!
Now his orderly life has become a disaster.
What
are you doing to this dog?
I'm just taking him for a walk.
Tom Hanks is Turner.
Oh, that's it! I'm getting my gun!
And his new roommate is Hooch.
Don't eat the car! Not the car!
Turner and Hooch.
We've known each other for a while now. Are you aware of your drooling problem?
Rated PG.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cleve.
And I'm Michael.
And welcome back to I've Lost Count of Podcasting Crime, which means we've been doing it long enough.
That means we're official, guys.
Yeah. Today's movie, have you ever wondered, like, what if Woody and Slink didn't get along in Toy Story?
At one point, they don't.
And now they don't for sure.
When Slink sees Woody push Buzz out the window.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he kind of got it.
That's fair.
We watched Turner and Hooch because it has a new
and Pooch.
It has a new Disney Plus show coming out, and I just wanted to see the original first before I got into the show. Possibly, maybe if I have time, probably not.
We're gonna watch the original Doogie Howser as well because they redid that one.
Did they?
Yeah, she's in Hawaii.
All right, we sure can.
It's a thing. We don't need to.
That's fair. That's fair.
I didn't like the original Doogie Howser, and I like NPH.
So this is starring Tom Hanks, After Big and After Splash, and Beasley, the dog. That's who it's starring.
Its name is Beasley?
Yeah, the road dog's name was
like
Beasley.
Pam Beasley?
Yeah.
I knew that's why it was named that.
It also had some other stars in it. It had Mr. Incredible, Craig T. Nelson. It had Mare Winningham, the love interest, who was in a lot of various things. It had Reginald Vell Johnson from Family Matters and Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah. He makes a return. We reviewed Die Hard once, guys.
Yeah, we did.
On a different podcast. But
Same umbrella. Michael, what were your feelings while you watched this movie?
I remember watching it as a young lad, as one does. And then I remember thinking of it fondly. I forgot that, Hooch dies. And so that was sad.
Spoiler. Yeah, Hooch doesn't make it.
It was... How do I say this? Tom Hanks' character was a fucking dick.
He was. But it was like also classic Tom Hanks. Like with all the loud yelling and the comical yelling at the same time. He does that in everything.
He does, but like...
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
That's all he does.
But like, when he's playing in League of Their Own, he's supposed to be an asshole. And this one, I felt like he was supposed to be this lovable character that I just couldn't stand.
See, I didn't get that. I got like an uptight cop.
I don't care if you're going to the CHP, dick. Take care of Die Hard Cop. He's been through a lot.
Has he?
He was in Die Hard.
Okay, so you're connecting the universe.
That world is a thing.
So I liked this, and I liked Tom.
It wasn't bad. I just don't think we need to redo it. That's for sure.
Well, maybe he won't be such an asshole. So let's talk about this dog. Fantastic dog. I think best dog acting that I've seen since watching the first Mask movie.
That's fair.
Hooch was played by multiple dogs. Beasley was a 17-month-old pup who played the main Hooch, and there were 3 other dogs.
Test Hooches.
Yeah, and his stunt double was named Igor. So there's some information for you to have in your head.
I appreciate that information that you've given me about those puppies.
I also find it funny that they're coming out with the show because apparently they almost came out with a show in like 1989 after the movie. And they shot a pilot, and you can watch it on YouTube. I didn't because it's not great, just like the last pilot we tried to watch on YouTube.
Coming to America, guys. It was terrible.
But so it didn't work out, and then they made it work out, and then they
Or was it? Go watch the episode.
Right. So in this movie, we're in a small town that I don't remember the name of in California, right? Yeah, we'll say California. And it's a small town and nothing really happens. And so Scott Turner is going to
the 916. Whoop, whoop.
He's going to work 3 more days before he bails out of this shitty town that he doesn't like and go deal with real crime, maybe.
Yeah, tweakers.
And
everywhere.
This guy who he befriends, I don't even know if they're really friends. He was just nice to him. Gets murdered.
Oh, Amos. Yeah, Amos got murdered.
And it's like, oh no. Yep, funny fact. Tom Hanks' dad's name Amos.
Did that make it more like of a connection for him?
I don't know. It's just weird. That's
weird.
It just so happens to be because it's not a super common name. I feel like maybe
Amos, no, unless you're famous.
I see what you did there. Cookies. Amos has this dog who is very hard to control and dingy, and
he's like a junkyard dog.
Tom Hanks is a super clean. I like everything in a certain spot, and he takes him the dog because the dog's going to help solve the murder by identifying the murderer, and shenanigans ensue from there.
Here's why Cleve likes this movie so much is because every time I watched it, I just pictured Max.
Dog. I've lived this life so many fucking times.
That dog started headbutting the door, and I'm like, "That's Max. That's Cleve's dog." I
was like, he would do stuff in the movie, and I'd go, "That's not going to work." That's not going to work. I have a dog that I have compared to the Velociraptor in the first Jurassic Park, where it's like they just start getting smarter as time goes on. And you can't give them the opportunity to figure something out. He's fucking start opening doors and has thumbs now and shit. Maybe that's why I identified with the character so much. Maybe he's not an asshole. He's just dealing with a shitty fucking dog. Because you can't tell me that you didn't snicker at some of the stuff he was saying. Because I was laughing.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Yes, fix this dog so I can shoot it. I'm gonna shoot the dog. Let me shoot the dog. Fix the dog. I make it fully healthy. I want to kill it. It's dead to me." Were there any scenes that you enjoyed more than others? Is there any scene that you didn't enjoy?
Favorite scene, him and the girl are starting to get busy, and he has that fucking epiphany. Literally a fucking epiphany. And he's like, it just drops like he's trying to talk her through making an omelet. Yeah. And then like starts, like kind of smooching on her and stuff. And then like has this epiphany of what's happening. And just essentially leaves this woman who he's only really known for like a week in his house and just bolts.
It's her fault. It was her idea.
And I've been there before, like doing something, not even just that, but like I have had those many times where I'll be sitting there doing something and then like, we have issues come up, technical issues and stuff with Twitch or even the podcast in general. I'll be sitting there fucking around, cooking or something. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, that's how I do it. And I just go right away from whatever I'm doing, which is terrible. You shouldn't do that. But those, my least favorite thing, he's so whiny.
He's a little whiny.
I know he's great. I get it.
This is peak Tom Hanks, though.
It is peak Tom. And that's exactly what they wanted him for.
Yeah, like there wasn't any part of this where I was like, this doesn't seem like Tom Hanks to me. Like everything he was doing, the complaints with jokes sprinkled in there, like that's what Tom does.
I would have chosen
every character except for maybe Forrest Gump.
I would have chosen Danny DeVito. That would be my personal choice.
I have some people who almost got selected. Would you like to know the names?
Yeah, I would love to.
John Larroquette, Dudley Moore, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, which I feel like every time there's a role for a male lead, Bill Murray was in the talks.
That role filled up Chevy Chase's alley at that time.
Yeah, he could have done it. And Jack Nicholson.
Oh, God, that would have been great. Do they look the
Do they?
The dog and Jack Nicholson.
Okay, does Tom Hanks look like Jack Nicholson?
No,
I feel like no.
I don't. It wasn't.
I also feel like it's funny that this movie came out September 28th, 1989. April 28th, 1989 was also the release of a movie called Canine, which was also about a cop and a dog solving crimes. It's
I remember
really
that
weird
movie.
that it was like 3 months apart.
Who was the main actor in that one? It's like Seagal,
Jim Belushi.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to say it was going to be Seagal, but they look similar to me. But Belushi, yeah.
They do look similar, especially now.
I remember that one more than I remember Turner and Hooch, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I could say that I've watched Turner and Hooch from beginning to end, like one sit down. I think I enjoy the first time we see Hooch because that dog looks like a fucking demon when it's running at him. Like
the Sandlot.
The up look fine, but the down with the lips would flat back and his eyes got all big. I was like, this dog looks like a what are the Chinese dragons? Oh, not dragons, the lions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, you remember the Beast from Sandlot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed that our protagonist knew that Craig Nelson was the villain. Like he didn't get because the moment that he was like, I don't know if that's gonna work. I was like, okay, so he's the guy. Like especially in these movies, they don't have a lot of like, oh, I'm shocked by what happened here. They're pretty by the books. But when Mr. Poltergeist showed up and was like, I don't have any backup. Okay, yeah, they're down the street. Don't worry about it. Let's go inside. I got this big shotgun.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but I appreciate that our character was smart enough to go, nah, fuck off. I know that you're not gonna trick me. The dog's dead. I don't know if you knew that or not. He passed away in 1992.
The fucking bummer. Wasn't he a puppy?
When this movie was shot in 1989. Yeah.
So 3 years later he died. That's sad.
We got hit by a car. So Hooch is a
crazy
Dogue de Bordeaux.
Okay.
Which is also known as a French Mastiff.
One
of the most ancient French breeds, which were not very popular until this movie came out, and then became super popular.
Much like Beethoven. Though
the
dog in that became Saint Bernard. They became super popular because of that.
That happens with everything. Because I think the specific type of Ninja Turtles become super popular once the movie came out.
People were buying turtles and then not knowing what to do and then abandoning them because people.
I also like the scene where he's driving down the street and holding the leash, and like the dog's just at a distance walking as he drives down the neighborhood. It's such a small town too, where it's like everybody sees you doing this, and apparently they had to take multiple shots of that one because the dog was so strong that Tom Hanks kept dropping the leash.
I was just trying to think of like the blatant disregard that police officers have for food and health violations. It's just rampant in this movie. We just allow our dog to do whatever the fuck it wants. It was climbing all over fish and shit.
The police dog, man. What are you supposed to do? The police are just saying that
the police dog. Damn it!
They didn't know that though.
And the whole like investigator / not detective thing was like, this is
I didn't
budget.
It seemed like it's supposed to be an ongoing joke that didn't really stick with me.
It was the whole like budget thing because like we had to send $7,000 to the lab for running some fingerprints and stuff like that.
So I also found out while looking at this movie that Tom Hanks had to spend weeks with the dogs before shooting to get like accustomed to the dogs and grow like a relationship before he shot the film. So he just had to hang out dogs for a week.
Do you think he hates, like, is he a dog person?
I don't know.
Can you imagine like getting a role and just being like, I really hate dogs?
Yeah.
Hey, we got a role for you, Tom. Would you like to hang out with a dog all day?
Well, he was established, but not like, I don't think he really had a serious role yet to really hang his hat on. So why not? Why not do Turner and Hooch? I found out a little bit of beef, apparently. Henry Winkler was originally hired to direct the movie, The Fonz himself. Yeah. And after 2 weeks, he was fired by Disney executive Jeffrey Katzenberg. When Henry Winkler was asked why he was fired from the movie, Henry Winkler said, let's just say I got along better with Hooch than I did Turner. Why does Forrest Gump and the Fonz not like each other?
And then we covered him in Bees.
We did cover him in Bees.
What movie was that, Cleve?
That was Little Nicky.
Adam Sandler movie series.
In an interview, Tom Hanks said that the movie could have been more successful if Hooch had not died. So apparently they shot 2 endings. One where obviously Hooch died and one where Hooch didn't die. The original ending, they said, like, brought a lot of emotion, obviously, because the fucking dog died. And the other ending people liked, but they just decided that we're gonna go with this one.
I agree. Him not dying would have been better. Not because of my feelings or anything. I think that it was unnecessary. Like we could even, tricked you. Haha. And then like when they said he at the very end when she's like, he got loose, like it could have came back and it could have been him just,
I don't know, man.
crazy.
That him like, talking to the dog and trying to keep him going, like it's a nice little roller coaster of emotions that they took you through. Because he actually loved the dog now.
Well, and that's just it though. Like, give me that payoff. Like, give me the we had the growth, we had the relationship build, we had everything like work towards it, and then you kill him. Like, all right.
But then he raises his son. So when they shot that scene, apparently that was the last time that the dog was going to be on set with Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Tom got super attached to the dog, and so like he used that to kind of get his juices flowing on the emotions and the crying and all that. I feel like we had two different people who got along very well, or two different characters that got along very well. We actually solved the crime. I laughed. It got choked up. I think this was one hell of a cop.
I would say I would agree. I did not know it was Disney.
I thought that like Disney acquired it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it was Disney's at the start. I didn't either.
Man, I didn't know that.
Wild, right?
Yeah. But no, I agree. I think
especially to make the dog die.
Yeah. Well, old Yeller.
Yeah, but because they wasn't listening that time.
That's fair. But I agree. I think old Turner gets to keep his badge, and now we have a new Hooch.
Yeah, which is funny too because I feel like they could have made a sequel based off the.
I really thought they did, and then like I looked it up and I couldn't find it. So,
did you know the line where Turner's yelling at Hooch about not eating the car is the vocals they used for the Toy Story test footage?
Don't eat the car! Not the car! Oh, you stupid fuck!
To get Tom Hanks on board?
Really?
And apparently he was like, yeah, I love this. Let's do it. That's what convinced him, was they used his own line from an old ass movie from 1989 to do a movie in 1995. Little did he know he'd be doing that character for the rest of his life.
And very successfully. And I think he loves that character.
Yeah,
I think that Turner gets to keep his badge. Hooch gets buried with honorable shooting discharge thing.
Dog, when he was like over his owner's body, I was like, yo, this sad. This is sad. Real sad. And poor Amos was like, hey guys, there's crime.
Oh, that was
like fucking paying attention.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Okay, my least favorite part is Amos being like, hey, shit's going down over there. Like there's weird noises at night and people are doing things, and Tom Hanks is like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then he dies. So fuck you, Tom Hanks, you dick. That dog drinking Miller Lite, that was hilarious because only a dog would like Miller Lite.
And the veterinarian was thirsty. Like Tom Hanks had to put no work in. He's also got an omelet pan. He only makes omelets in.
That makes sense.
Does it?
The thing.
Because you just wash your pants. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I think this was good. I think it has rewatchability. It's not one that I would turn my nose to. I would defend it in an argument if someone started to say it was bad.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad.
This is the first buddy cop movie we've had where it's been, an animal. Theodore Rex doesn't count because it talked.
And what I would deem successful.
Lethal Weapon. That's the only other one.
Oh, fair. Well,
that was also good.
Was it successful? I meant like as cops, were they successful at doing what they wanted to do?
Like, being a good cop.
Yes. None of them were good cops. They got the job done. Some of them got to keep their badge because the job got done in the end. But
Raj, I was gonna say Raj was a good cop, but then he fucking let a whole fight happen in his front yard. So I guess that takes you out of the running.
Remember when you made me watch fucking Theodore Rex?
God, I still think about it.
Anyways,
I've been clean.
My goal.
This canine knows where all the bones are buried, and Turner is a small town cop with big dreams. While some buddy cop movies don't quite scratch that itch you need, Turner and Hooch hits the spot that makes your legs shake. The movie gets to keep its badge and gun. Case closed.